Have you ever wondered how to take your martial arts from the dojos to the street? Well, stick around to find out what would ninjas do. Kata to the streets. This is George again, and I'm showing you guys what would ninjas do in real life situations and how we bring our techniques to the urban environment. So, kata to the streets. What are kata? Kata are two-man forms in Ninpo Taijutsu and how we practice attacking and learning our distance, our timing, and the biomechanics of our opponent through each of our individual movements. So this is extremely important in learning why you're doing a technique and how to do the technique properly. So the first technique that I'm going to be showing you guys in this series, Kata to the streets, is Yokuto. It means to send your opponent sprawling, and it comes from an older family system called Koto-ryu. Koto-ryu is based on linear attacks and skeletal attacks, and even using your skeletal system to attack your opponent. So there are points where we'll use protruding bones to be able to strike our opponent through each individual motion, or we'll be attacking our opponent's bone and skeletal structure, or we'll attack his physical structure and how he's standing and causing him to crumple to the ground while we're attacking. So the first technique is, again, Yokuto. So in Yokuto, what's happening is that we start with a lapel grab and kamooch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross step, hit him in the neck with a boshiken, kick him in the groin, and then strike to the face. All in one fluid motion. So if you could come back up one more time. Just going to do it full speed. Ready? Good. So there are two major components to this technique of Yokuto. First is the grab. When the opponent grabs you, you can grab me, try to jostle me around, anything of the sort. Actually try to pull me. Okay, good. Now he's trying to actually get my balance. When I start to pull him and I stick a boshiken, a thumb strike, into the side of his neck and push, try to fight it now. When he tries to come up, he's actually digging the thumb deeper into his neck, and this prevents him from attacking. So as long as I cross step and I use this to get him off balance, his body is broken. His structure can't support himself and he begins to fall. So he can get back up. So with this, now, after I break his balance and moving offline, notice how I line myself up for this groin shot. I use my shin to pop him in the groin, and then a palm strike to blast him in the chin and send him sprawling out into the environment. Basing on your time and distancing, you can send your opponent to a number of things in your environment. So this is the breaking it down of those two portions of manipulating the body and then attacking low and high. By attacking low and high, you're activating your opponent to do one thing with his biomechanics, which is very important. When I kick him in the groin, this sends him forward. And while he's forward, it lines him straight up for my punch. His hands will loosen his grip. It'll be easy for my arm to come up from underneath and strike him into the jaw or face, depending on where he's looking. I'm going to work with what my opponent gives me. So if he's looking up, I'll attack his mandible. If he's looking down, I'll crush the center of his face and send it outward. And this really will help send him sprawling, because he'll come down from the groin shot and blast his face backwards, which is very important. So next, I'm going to show you guys a variation that I use that can be done a little bit more quicker and give you a new avenue of attack. So he comes to grab me in the same fashion. So now what I'm going to do is cross step, kick him in the groin, but I pull his hand up to my temple and I do a knife hand drop down to the back and side of the neck. So one more time, from a different angle. I cross step, pop him up, kick him in the groin, this hand comes up, comes straight down, attacking to the side of the neck or to the temple. So that's that portion. Now, let's get to the real core of Kata to the streets and how to deal with a modern attack using the same principles. So now we're a little bit at street distance, we've engaged, we're trying to actually fight. If I were trying to retreat, I'd be able to get out of this once we square it up. But he's coming in and he throws a hook or a cross with that rear hand. I go ahead and cover. I stick a boshiken into the neck. And now what I do is, if you look down at my legs, I come up from underneath, striking that and striking into the same part. So instead, it's going to be a right, left, left technique. So he comes in, pop, strike, 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 all together. So one more time, pop, strike. His groin is open, I pop to the groin and strike down with that left hand still. If he's still up, just keep on wailing until he can't fight anymore and dip. Yeah! That's the most important part. Yeah. So again, this is Sensei George with What Would Ninjas Do? Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what else you guys want to see.